I got to say, personally, I love it. It's so different. It's so unique. I love the promos. I love the style. But how did you come up with this aspect of the Marty the Moth persona?
I was originally brought in to Lucha Underground from the very, very beginning. I was one of the guys signed originally when this project got greenlit. And I was brought on for comedic relief. And that's what I love doing. I like making people laugh. And usually when I make myself look like an ass, I'm sorry if I swore on your podcast, it makes people laugh. So it does a job right. But we, just like every other character in Lucha Underground, we made it evolve. Vampiro was integral in making that happen. He's definitely been kind of taking me under his wing. And, hey, if you're going to learn how to be dark, someone like Vampiro, so not a bad mentor to go to. So rather than making it campy and he look at me like we first started when I came in and just made people laugh for a little bit, we wanted to take it a little bit more serious route. So it was kind of a mix of Vampiro's direction from the writers, and then from my acting classes, I do acting outside of Lucha Underground. And I just kind of took what I would want to see on there, with some influences from serial killers to the Joker to American Horror Story to all these things that had intrigued people. Threw it all into one thing, and out pops a moth.
Such an interesting and different characters as a different name. Do you think that, being different is something that really sets Lucha Underground apart and makes them even, makes it even cooler because everything is so much different than what you see in other wrestling?
Absolutely. We're a TV show that has wrestling in it. I think that's the biggest difference. We're a TV show with wrestling in it, where everybody else is trying to be a knockoff of a wrestling show. So we can have supernatural stuff. We can have Katrina teleporting all sorts of places. We can have some travel time, and, well, then there's me who kidnaps people and tortures them in their own little way. So we can have that kind of stuff. You can't really – we kill people. You don't see that in a wrestling promotion. We kill people. So it's different, and I think that's what's setting people apart is this show is different, and I love the fact that people are so into it and so vocal about it. That's one thing I love so much is these wrestling fans are so vocal, and I love it.
So true. There's such a unique audience and so cool. It's almost like a little bit of a throwback to, some real, like you almost said, like before with like DCW fans, where the fans are so into it, it kind of makes the whole product work that much better because the fans are so much into it.
And it's got a little bit of mystique to it because it's Lucha Underground, but most people don't have El Rey Network. So they have to actively search for what this is that people are talking about, where they got Pumas doing triple backflips and Moth kidnapping beautiful women and taking them to their crazy mansion palace. So it's kind of have a stigma to it where you have to kind of search for it. It's kind of nice, but then I always laugh at the numbers when they come out because I know that's maybe even a third or the fourth of who's actually really watching Lucha Underground, because most people don't watch it on El Rey Network. It's a sad but true statement, but I'm glad people are out there looking for it.
Definitely, because with the amount of people talking about it, that they're getting it another way, or they're watching it through iTunes, or however they might be watching it. But you mentioned something about the kidnapping and doing that whole sexy star feud and thing like that. Is that something that they come to you with, or is it something that you come to them with as far as the writing for that character and that kidnapping storyline?
That was the masterminds of the writers. DJ Roach and Solomon have been amazing. In fact, I didn't even know it was happening until I got the script the day before I shot it for season 1 that I was going to kidnap her. So I think it was a great way to make a dark character and a more layered character out of a goof. And that's kind of what it was. I was the comedic relief, and I love being that, but you can't make comedic relief a champion. So that's where the darkness came from, but that's all the writers. We have some amazing writers, and I always call our locker room here the rejects because there's so much talent from the writing staff to the producers to the actual people in the ring that just something didn't work out to go other directions. And I'm super glad it didn't, because I will gladly carry this flag of Lucha Underground with the rest of these rejects to make some amazing TV.
And you know what's interesting is that, you know, it's not just you kidnap Sexy Star. You actually, you know, have a bit of a feud and you're wrestling her and everything else. So what are your thoughts on, you know, males wrestling females? And then what are your thoughts on Sexy Star, you know, being in the ring with her?
You have to work smart. Everyone gets up in arms about men wrestling women, but then they don't mention anything about it when they watch the Avengers. Black Widow's up there kicking the crap out of all these monsters from another world, and no one says anything about it. No one says anything about it, but if you've been doing a wrestling ring, now it's all of a sudden too close to home. Well, I just don't think that's the right way to look at it. You got to do it smart, obviously. You're not going to see Sexy Star pick me up over her head. But there's a way to do it, and there's a disconnect between wrestling and like the Avengers and movies. I actually like working with Sexy Star. There's definitely a language barrier. She doesn't speak very much English at all. I'm still trying to learn Spanish as much as I can. It was fun working with her. She's the fans love her, and she has a great backstory, and it was great to put some extra layers into that story. She's fun to work with, and when you're that small, she's easy to throw around no matter how no matter how good she is. It's easier to make the base for somebody when they're light like that. So she's a great worker and a great person.
And then even adding in another female, Mariposa, who I guess is technically, you know, your quote unquote your sister on the show. Did you like kind of adding another element to the Moth, adding a sister character as well?
I did, and we I like that it's Melissa because we both bounce ideas off of each other, and most of the stuff we bounce off of each other will never make TV because we're some pretty sick and twisted people. So it's cheerleader Melissa, obviously, but we talk about some sick, messed up ideas, and none of it we pitch them, but who knows what will make TV, what won't. It's Lucha Underground, so you never know. But it was great to add that extra layer. There's so much into the Moth family and the Moth tribe that people don't know yet, and it hasn't been explored yet. So there's going to be some revelations this season that we're airing right now, but there's a lot to delve into about this messed up relationship and this messed up family because it's fun.